We're told the first 300 years, all church fathers quoted the Alexandrian. That's arguable, actually. Okay, problem with patristic quotation, that's the church fathers. Okay? This is the claim that will be often made, is that all the church fathers in the first 300 years only quoted the Alexandrian. Sturz points out there are no earlier Antiochian fathers. By Antiochian, it's what we call Byzantine. My map is gone. That part of the world that was supposed to be the hotbed of early Christianity, where the Byzantine text was supposedly developed. Okay? We have no earlier Antiochian fathers than Chrysostom, whose literary remains are extensive enough so that New Testament quotations may be analyzed as to the type of text they support. Gordon Fee agrees with that. We have no early fathers from Antioch or Asia Minor who cite the New Testament. So we don't know what kind of text they were using. At most, we know what the guys from Egypt were using. And again, if textual criticism is science, we need to have stratified data samples. We don't have that. We have a top-heavy Egyptian, and that's it. Okay? The claim that the early church fathers did not quote the Byzantine text is, by the way, questionable. Bergen and Miller compiled 86,489 patristic quotations, excluding those that were obviously changed to match Byzantine. They found 60% side with the Byzantine. Miller compiled a testimony for 30 key passages and found 76% agreement with the Byzantine. Okay? Now, the mainstream textual critics will say, well, Bergen and Miller were using inferior manuscripts. The question is, how do you know they're inferior? How do you decide they're inferior? Well, because they don't agree with the Alexandrian. More problems. When you look at church fathers and you see a New Testament allusion in there, was it a verbatim quote? Were they trying to be word for word accurate or simply making an allusion? Fathers often quote the same text more than once and never in the same words twice. Clement's most accurate citation in the New Testament has 5 variants from the common text. The wildest manuscript has only 3. The same is true with Polycarp and Justin. Tertullian can scarcely cite the same New Testament passage twice in exactly the same way. Okay? So the question has to be raised whether the fathers adjusted the wording of the passage to fit his argument, or at least to fit the syntax of his sentence. The fathers widely studied and copied each other's writings, so they cannot be assumed to be independent witnesses. And, this is very important from Suggs, the impression that the early fathers support the favored Alexandrian text type against the majority text is mistaken. Actually, their texts are as much mixed as the early papyri. Alon's descriptive list of the church fathers' writings further demonstrates this to be the case. Okay? Mainline textual critics claim that the patristic witness to the Byzantine text type is invalid because it is simply the result of later assimilation, yet the mixed idiosyncratic nature of the patristic texts indicates that they were not in fact assimilated. Otherwise, why would they be so different? Suggs in New Testament Studies 4, it would be untrue to say that verbal accuracy was not an aim of the ancient scribe. There's little evidence of systematic revision of New Testament citations. A majority of modern textual scholars consider patristic evidence, as long as it stands alone, to count for almost nothing in ascertaining the original text. Okay? And again, if they understood mathematics better, they'd understand that x plus 0 is still just x. If it doesn't stand on its own, it doesn't get stronger by adding it to something else. The patristic quotations are a mishmash like the papyri. They don't support one or another text type. But they do, on balance, if you look at the readings, side with the Byzantine more than anything else.